An important contributor to South African economic development, the Human Resource Development Council of South Africa is a multi-stakeholder platform made up of government, business, basic and higher education institutions, amongst others. Its foremost goal is to build a skilled workforce for the future, thereby keeping the South African economy moving, growing, and succeeding, ensuring that no one gets left behind. The HRDC is headed by the Republic of South Africa's Deputy President and is managed by the Minister of Higher Education, Science and Innovation. Since 2010, the HRDC has been advising the South African government on critical skills that the country needs to develop and fast-track, identifying major blockages in the human resources development value chain and finding solutions to solving national human resource development challenges.
The Human Resources Development Council was established in March 2010 with the goal to develop an overarching national framework and strategy for human resources development in South Africa across all sectors of our economy, public and private, with a specific focus on the sectors identified as key economic drivers. Research that was done a while back during the review of the Joint Initiative for Priority Skills Acquisition and the Accelerated and Shared Growth Initiative for South Africa. These identified human resources and relevant skills as the overarching constraints to economic growth and development across all sectors.
HRDC is important to South Africa because it is intended to plan for the future skills, to also study the trends of the economy, to look into the blockages in terms of human resource development, get into the future.
Some research was done inside and outside of the state. The HRD Council had to work with industry partners as well as professional bodies and higher education institutions to design strategies to accelerate the implementation or the cultivation of what is called critical skills that are required for the economy.
It advised the council around the future skills necessary for the world of work, as well as how to deal with the question of skills mismatch in South Africa. It also advised the government around how to benefit from the automation and all the technologies brought by the Fourth Industrial Revolution.
Our Department of Higher Education and Training is responsible for generating what we call the National List of Occupations in High Demand. The HRDC investigates the whole human resources development value chain in order to identify constraints or blockages that hinder production of required skills, and then through research and engagement with all social partners, come up with innovative solutions to address those blockages. There are many achievements that we have attained since the formation of the Human Resources Development Council.
The HRDC's strategies and plans map the future of South Africa's industries, employment opportunities, and job security.
The industries that South Africa is likely to see growth in the future are industries that are spurred by, I suppose, advances in technology. I'm talking about financial services technology, agri, for primary agriculture purposes. So agri-tech is definitely going to be an industry of the future. And obviously, I think, professionals that are able to do the engineering, the programming, in order to support all of this. So those are the types of jobs that are likely to emerge. So South Africa moves towards future-centric jobs by firstly understanding where the gaps are. As the HRDC, obviously, we've done a lot of work to understand, what is required in our economy vis-a-vis what is being supplied into that demand equation.
The COVID pandemic challenged governments, business industries, employees, and the entire world's population in unprecedented ways. It was a case of adapt and pivot. South Africa, like most of the world, suffered massive hits to the economy. The HRDC rose to the challenge and advised the South African government of new ways of managing industry and the economy. Some of those new ways have changed the face of South African industry.
The pandemic changed the industry and economy in the sense that the new ways of managing industry came into being, and the whole question of digitization became reality. In fact, the COVID-19 served as a catalyst to speed up the rollout of the fourth industrial revolution technologies. So that was actually the big thing, but one may also say that newer jobs and skills that also challenge industries around the upskilling and reskilling of their workforce became a norm. May I dare to say as well that some of the jobs were really declared redundant because of the technologies. So the question of upskilling and reskilling is a reality. Well, South Africa, I would say, comparatively speaking, dealt with the pandemic very well because we have seen innovation levels increasing. We have seen the rollout of the 4IR technologies as well being accelerated due to pandemic. So in a nutshell, the accessibility to post-school education as well increase. We've seen people attaining qualification to ensure that they remain relevant to the economy. So we have seen massive enrollment at higher education institutions, particularly in qualifications that are going to buttress the fourth industrial revolution.
So what I can tell you with respect to our state of readiness for this fourth industrial revolution world is that, well, we've been planning for it. There is an implementing agency within government that is tasked with actually rolling it out. And already they've done a lot of work, preparatory work, I suppose, to ensure that we do realize our potential where this 4IR revolution is concerned. For the moment, I would say that there's been a lot of objective setting that has occurred. There's been a lot of scanning the environment, doing an assessment, a critical assessment of where we are and where we need to be. There's a plan that has been developed with respect to, so how do we bridge the gap from where we are to where we want to be? And a lot of it has to do with having to invest money towards the technologies. But secondly, we need to invest money towards developing our human capital in order to ensure that by the time, we get to a state of nirvana, right, all these boxes are ticked.
I think the whole question of the development of requisite skill, which is part and parcel of human resource development strategy, it's a way to go because that is going to address our ailing economy. So I think more investment in human resources as outlined in human resource development strategy. And of course, as well, the whole human resource development pipeline should be looked at in totality. I'm talking about looking at it from early childhood development up until universities or post-school, but at the same time, ensuring that there is an appreciation of mathematics and science, as well as your robotics, your coding, and ensuring that now we have the requisite skill that is actually required for automation. Well, the foremost goal is to ensure that we build a workforce that is actually relevant, that will be able to buttress and support our economy. The lesson learned here is that South Africa must actually invest in the future world of work by ensuring that now we train human resources that will be able to support the new technologies that are emerging, artificial intelligence being one of them. But I think what is also key is the coding, because coding is a language. And this we have to do at a very, very early stage, because this new generation, some people are referring to them as millennials, they are well versed with this particular technology. So it's very important that we pay heed to the challenges that the fourth industrial revolution is presenting and roll out those particular technologies so that no one gets left behind.
In a rapidly changing world where challenges present themselves faster than the blink of an eye, the government of South Africa, industry employers, learning institutions, and the workforce will need to adapt constantly, dynamically, and deliberately. Fortunately, the Human Resource Development Council will partner and advise the process every step of the way.